Hi everyone, and welcome to SMIRKING NARWHAL Film Studio. My name is Sebastian.
I'm Haroun.
And I'm Tristan.
We are a film studio based in Vancouver, BC, and we love to tell stories. We're proud to present to you our first feature film, Slowly But Surely. It's about a man who's banished from his kingdom for a simple yet grave transgression.
He yearns to see his family again, but must think beyond conventional means in order to achieve what he wants. Slowly but surely is yet another example of how determination can overcome even the greatest of obstacles.
It also underlines the theme that though rules may be rules, you don't have to break them to beat them. Without further ado, here is Slowly But Surely. We hope you enjoy the show.
Once upon a time, in a kingdom called Schnubelheim, there lived a king who ruled fairly, compassionately, and for the most part reasonably. And at the king's side, always loyal and just, was his trusty Mr. Right-Hand Man, Siegfried. They were the best of friends and would do most everything together, riding bikes, eating ice cream, fighting barbarians. One fine day, on the king's birthday, the king decided to hold a magnificent feast for the entire kingdom.
Behold, my wonderful subjects, 'tis my birthday. Eat, drink, and be merry.
All, including Siegfried, attended. Everyone ate, drank, partied, and had a grand time. However, on that same fateful night, Siegfried made the gravest career-breaking error of his life. Amidst the festivities, in a drunken stupor, Siegfried stumbled into the nearest toilet he could find in his path and proceeded to make a number 2. But this was no ordinary toilet. This toilet, this magical golden receptacle of human waste, belonged to none other than the king himself. Feeling mighty fine after dropping a massive dud, Siegfried continued in the festivities and did not think much again of that event. Little did he know, what he just did was a grave, treasonable offense. In the Charter of the Kingdom, it stated clearly in Article number 12.1e, no man shall make waste in the king's golden toilet but the king himself. If said crime is committed, the punishment for the transgressor is either death by hanging or banishment from the kingdom for all eternity. The next morning, following the festivities, the king came to his senses. And lo and behold, in the golden toilet lay a large steaming log, bobbing nonchalantly amidst the ebb and flow of the water in the bowl. Definitely not his own.
Who did this? Who dares defile the golden toilet of the king?
Bellowed the king, livid and completely mortified. A vizier of the king, who greatly disliked Siegfried out of jealousy and envy, saw an opportune moment to topple his opponent and tattletaled Siegfried's misdeeds to the king.
Sire, I'm terribly sorry to say this, and I understand deeply how this may upset you, but as your vizier, I am obligated to speak the truth. It was your right-hand man, Siegfried.
No! Tell me it isn't so! Why? Siegfried, tell me why! You are my most trusted man in the kingdom. How could you ever conceive of such a vile thing?
Siegfried, now sober, recalled the event with terrible embarrassment.
Indeed, 'twas I, sire. I used your golden toilet because it was the first toilet that I could find. I was not thinking clearly, and it is my fault. For this, I am deeply sorry.
Sire, forgive me for being so direct, but we must face the facts. Siegfried committed a vile criminal act that is tantamount to treason. And as the law clearly states, no man shall make waste in the king's golden toilet but the king himself. If said crime is committed, the punishment for the transgressor is either death by hanging or banishment from the kingdom for all eternity. I'm afraid there is no goose-stepping this. As much as this man has been a credit to this kingdom, he must be punished.
Yes, that is true. Siegfried may be my friend, but he is a man just the same, and every man is subject to the rule of law. If we did not enforce the law, chaos would ensue, and society would tear itself apart. Therefore, it is with a heavy heart that I decide the fate of my friend.
I take full responsibility for my actions. Whatever the verdict, I will not protest.
Since you have been loyally by my side for so long, I shall spare your life, old friend. I hereby banish you, for all eternity, from Schnubbelheim. You may never return to this kingdom, and you must go alone. My decision is final. Go.
Very well, sire. I wish you well and all the happiness in the world. Goodbye.
Siegfried bid a teary-eyed farewell to his wife and children. Little Madeline, Siegfried's youngest daughter, was profoundly sad to see her father leave.
Don't go, Dad. We can flush the toilet, we'll make it sparkly clean again, we'll scrub it so good, and it'll look so golden that the birds in the sky will be starstruck by its glare. Then the king won't be mad, and you can stay with us once more.
Someday, in another time and another place, we will meet again.
And with that, Siegfried left Schnubbelheim.
Arr! Avast, we be here now, ye scurvy-ridden maggots. Drop the anchor.
A royal ship took Siegfried to the intended destination, a desolate island with nary a tree in sight, marooning Siegfried.
Adios, bucko. You take care now,
said the sailor as he retrieved the last line and the royal ship receded into the distance. What would Siegfried do to survive? He had to think on his feet. There was barely any vegetation on the island, so he had to find food elsewhere. Additionally, being that there were no trees in sight, Siegfried was unable to fashion a boat of sorts to escape by water. Siegfried looked to the sea for sustenance. For protein, he netted fish and other sea creatures. For carbohydrates, fiber, and vitamins, Siegfried found solace in the slippery goodness of sea kelp. But the whole time, Siegfried yearned to see his family again, and thought of them each day on the island. One day, as he reeled in his net, it was much heavier than usual. With great determination, Siegfried yanked the net to shore to discover that nestled within the convoluted lines lay an enormous rainbow fish. He remembered in wizarding lore that rainbow fish were magical.
Bonjour, je suis Cyrano, le poison magique. Please do not kill me, woman. If you spare my life, I shall grant you one wish, any wish you desire, and I shall stay true to my word. The marvelous jewels of Shangri-La, all the glistening gold of El Dorado, the most heavenly of baguettes you have ever tasted, even your very own kingdom on this whirling patch of earth. Ah, but I see, you want to return to your own. You do not care for these superficial trinkets, but you long to see your family again. Bien, monsieur. C'est ton jour de chance. One wish. Just say the word, and I shall make your bidding a reality.
Too late. Unfortunately, Siegfried did not speak fish and proceeded to bonk the fish on its head. Siegfried had a magnificent feast that night. The next morning, Siegfried discovered that he suddenly possessed an unearthly strength in his arms, and he was able to hurl a 2-ton stone with relative ease.
Dost thou hoist, brother? Ah!
It must have been that magical fish he ate. Siegfried hurled the stone into the ocean, an immense gargantuan stone. Due to its sheer size, the stone towered above the surface of the waterline. Siegfried curiously clambered upon the stone and gazed wistfully towards the direction of Schnubelheim, still thinking of his family.
I wonder how far I can hurl this stone. Can I possibly throw this stone all the way back to my home?
Then it dawned upon Siegfried.
Egads! Methinks I found the solution. Now that I possess superhuman strength, I can move the largest of stones. By moving the stones that make up the island, I can in turn move the island. What if I simply moved this entire island closer to Schnubelheim, stone by stone? Then I can see my family once more.
And so it was. Siegfried set out to move the island, stone by stone. Stone by stone. Stone by stone. Until finally, one glorious day, Siegfried and the island had migrated many nautical miles and arrived at the edge of Schnubelheim, just beyond the reach of the land.
Ah, beautiful homeland of mine, how I have missed you. The smell of the trees, the hustle and bustle of the town, the clanging iron. Oh, I've missed you so. First and above all, I shall find my family. I will move these rocks towards my home.
Siegfried shifted his island once more, hugging the coast until he arrived directly in front of his old house by the sea.
Ahoy, family of mine! 'Tis I, Siegfried. At last I have returned from my perilous banishment to see you once again.
His family, amazed, was tremendously happy to see their Siegfried once again.
Dad, it's really you! You came back for us! But how is it possible that you're here? Is it not illegal to return to Schnubelheim after your banishment?
Strictly speaking, I have not returned to Schnubelheim. Not exactly. You see, I have not yet set foot on the main island. I reside on my own island. To this end, I have not broken the law. However, you are all free to move as you wish, and you may come ashore to this island to visit me. Come, come.
Siegfried created a pathway with the stones just beyond the edge of the mainland, but traversable by foot. His family hopped onto his island to meet Siegfried, and they all shared a warm embrace. That night, the family brought food onto the island and had a wonderful feast together. The citizens of Schnubelheim began to notice this odd piece of land jutting out of the western corner of the kingdom, barely separated from the mainland. Word spread to the king, and the king was rather perplexed. He was glad to hear of his friend's return, bewildered and curious as to how he did it, but also angry for Siegfried's supposed violation of the law.
I will go to Siegfried at once to better understand the situation. Siegfried, you have returned! I demand an explanation.
Sire, please, allow me to explain.
And he explained.
Siegfried, you astound me with your tenacity. You would move an entire island just to see those you care about once more. I have been an inconsiderate friend, and it would be a privilege for Schnibbelheim to have you once again. Therefore, I hereby declare Article 12.1-E in the Charter of the Kingdom to be null and void. Why would we have such an absurd rule in our charter anyway? Begone with it. I welcome you back with open arms.
Siegfried walked into Schnubbelheim once again, strolling through the cobblestone contently, and they lived happily ever after, until war plagues and natural disaster struck. The end.